We've seen The Last of Us on PS4, but it wasn't actually developed and designed for it. Looking at what they've done with Uncharted 4, that was designed from the ground up for PS4, what do you see that opening up for The Last of Us?
Oh, for The Last of Us specifically? I don't know, because again, in every way The Last of Us is narrative driven. It's experience driven, it's story driven, it's character driven. So it's not so much of, now look what we can do, because we have a new platform with this. It's, do we have a story to tell? And I honestly don't know what the answer is to that. I mean, I've seen some incredible fan fiction, not that kind, but people taking the stories, and The Last of Us left you with so many questions. And I think maybe that's its purpose. It's not to answer those questions in a serialized way, but just leave you with those questions and get you thinking. I'm fine with that. I'm also totally fine if they decide they've got another story to tell and we come back and we get to, just like they did with Uncharted 4, build up a game from the ground up with this new platform. Because I think The Last of Us could be really cool. It was so innovative. Not just graphically, we squeezed every bit of juice out of that graphics engine, but also just like systemically, the way that it played. It was interesting. It became a part of the experience. It wasn't just, I have this gun and I can do this with it. It was, how am I going to play based on the very limited resources that I have? And if I choose to do this, what does that mean for me as a character, but as a player? Because they were so synonymous, the relationship between that. So, I don't know. I could go either way with it.
And when it comes to Uncharted 4, can you talk a little about what that opens up? Performance capture, you were talking earlier off camera about the fact that everything now is in real time.
Yeah, I think that's one of the most impressive things. And Naughty Dog's so cool with the way they go about things. They're like, oh yeah, you saw that, that's cool. It's never like, look what we're doing now. There weren't big titles that came up on the screen. Did you see that he had his spike and now he can go anywhere on this mountain? It's just small little things that make it feel like it still has the same DNA, that it still is the same game, but it's just giving you more of what you've always wanted, or showing stuff that you didn't think you could use or you would want, and now you're like, I don't know how I could do this game without this. So it was all the subtle nuances and the details about seeing Uncharted 4 that I didn't even know about, because while we're making the game, they're off making the game. So I get to be surprised, and I'll be as surprised when it comes out next year, and I get to open up the game and put it in for the first time too. So I get to still have that experience as well, and I'd never want to change that. But that being said, everything running in real time, when they told me that they were going to do that, I was like, you're gonna what? Because there's always a little bit of disconnect, whether you're aware of it or not. When you go from gameplay, there's that single black frame, and you go into a cutscene, and you're like, I just had the handgun, I had the 9mm or the Luger or whatever in my hand, and now he's got a rifle. Or now he's got that AK. Or I had the AK on my back, but now he's got a handgun here. You may not even be consciously aware of it, but that shows to me the attention to detail that Naughty Dog has. Like, no, we would never want to break that immersion with you. And if we do, it's going to be very specific and purposeful. But the fact that you literally go, and it looks the same. There's some games that gameplay looked one way and the cinematics looked incredible. And then you go back to gameplay, you're like, whoa, that's the same guy that we just saw. So I like the fact that they have the focus as being immersive, and by doing that, then they employ a technical way to do that, and that's for everything to be running real time in engine, not pre-rendered. That's incredible.
Now, with the exception of Metal Gear Solid, we're at a point now where most of the games you've worked on this year are already out. I'm assuming you've actually had a chance to play. So talk about what it's been like to go back and see the work you've done.
It's always cool, and like I said, I get I get spoiled with a little few things, but I'm never fully spoiled for a game. It's like Christmas every time I open up one of the cases, or do the digital download, because they were off making it while I was making it. And to see things actualized as opposed to just visualized, because that's what we typically get. It's like, okay, this will eventually be this long tower, okay, and Sauron is going to be about this high. We never get to fully see it, and so when I actually get to play through it, I'm shoulder to shoulder with the rest of my gamers, because I have no idea what's going to happen either. I may know story points and plot points, and can look at the performances that other people did, go, oh yeah, I remember that. But it's still different. It still looks different. It still has this wonderment to it that I never lose. I go back and I had super fun with Lego Batman 3 Beyond Gotham. It was just I don't know how they keep cranking those games out as fast as they do and as good as they do. And everyone at TT is just an amazing, they make incredible games. Arthur Parsons did an incredible job on that game. John Burton's great. So I had fun playing that game. I had fun going back. GTA 5 Remastered was just, because it had been so long since I'd actually played it. And it's a blessing, curse. I lost everything on my transfer. I lost everything. So I'm starting over from scratch. So all the money that I had, all the cars that I had, all the garages that I had are gone. So I'm starting off like a noob. But it's fun because I did that once, I can do it again. So it gives you that feeling of I want to conquer that. And I spent a lot of time in Mordor. I have slain many, many orcs. And I'm not done. It's like, that may be the only game, or the first game in a long time that I've platinumed. Because it's just, there's so much to do, and every little trinket that you can pick up, every collectible item has a purpose. And I really applaud the guys at Monolith for making every aspect of that game incredibly purposeful and not wasting one single pixel, one single, 1 or 0 on getting that to where it needed to be. So, and hopefully we'll do another one.